say I'm slightly nervous because not in the army, I've not climbed mountains, I can't play the tabla like we just witnessed, but I'm going to give it a shot. So let's start with a small thought experiment. आपके आसपास अब एक कोई भी आइडेंटिफाई कर लो, जैसे आप दोनों खड़े हो, look at each other, आप खड़े हो, आपके साथ में कोई नहीं, आप पीछे देखो, just find one person quickly, look at each other, and now don't look here, look there, look at each other and repeat the words loudly. I hate you. Balaya. What is hate? Hate is aggressive. Hate is loud. Hate is always pointing out your weaknesses, always finding faults, rubbing salt in your wounds, emotionally charged. You know, we tell our friends, मैंने आज न्यूज़ देखी, क्या देखा न्यूज़ में? बॉलीवुड का बहुत बुरा हाल है भाई, सब ड्रग्स पे, सब बड़े नष्ट हो गए भाई. They're all on drugs, they're all degenerates, they have no morals, no ethics, they are not good human beings. So that hate is carried forward. We go and regurgitate it. We spread that hate. But where do we spread this hate the maximum? Any guesses?
Social.
On the internet, right? But let's talk about the internet. I don't know how many of you were there when the internet was a sweet little baby. Like, and social network was just a toddler. वो दिन याद है जब Facebook शुरू हुआ था? और कुछ याद है? Facebook, high five. How many of you reconnected with a friend after 10, 15 or even 20 years through Facebook? Raise your hand. Right? You remember that feeling? And how many of you hate the same friend for sending WhatsApp forwards every day now? Right? So the internet was a beautiful place. I'm talking about 2007 to 2012. Beautiful place, full of discovery, full of love, full of connections. Then what happened? Like us, the internet also grew up. Then it became an angry teenager. Rebellious, angry, attitude. मैं नहीं किसी से बात करूँगा. You're fat, you're ugly, you're tall, you're dark. You don't know anything, I am the expert. Now, this is what the internet feels like these days. It does, right? The internet has also grown up. There is hate everywhere. I used to think a lot of times, that the internet is like an angry teenager right now. And how do we deal with angry teenagers? I'm sure you guys have seen angry teenagers, 17-year-old, 18-year-old. Just let them be. उनके रास्ते में बताओ, वो नहीं सुनने वाली तुम्हारी बात. उनको जो करना है करने दो. But the web of life actually impacts your life at a very deep level, right? You take these things with you. So जब मैं इंटरनेट के बारे में सोचा था, अरे इंटरनेट तो बहुत गुस्से में आजकल. What's going on? I had a realization that if somebody calls me fat, somebody calls me ugly, somebody calls me something, that really doesn't make it true. Why are we giving so much importance to some faceless, nameless person on Twitter and YouTube? And initially I used to get affected by it. I used to think, yaar, ki mera kaam itna kharab hai gaya, itne ye comment kya dala. And I used to make a lot of videos on YouTube for different channels, different portals. A lot of them used to be positive, but I used to only focus on the negative. I'm like, yaar, ye 100 में से ना 2 लोगों को अच्छा ही लगा, मतलब मैं खराब ही हूँ. But ये सच है कि नहीं? We feel that. Why are we holding on to criticism so much? जाने दो. Their opinions do not make you who you are. Let's now think of internet in a different way. आपकी personality, आप एक human being हो, जीते जागते, अंदर नसें हैं, खून है. Do you think you can be defined as a person in one profile and some pictures? No, right? Then why are you letting it affect yourself? You are so much more as a human being than just pictures, just profile, just a representation, just a percentage of yourself that you put on Instagram, you pout and all of that. That's not all of you, right? Is that you? So what am I trying to say? The internet is angry right now. Let it be angry. Maybe it will grow up into a responsible adult. But Don't let it govern your life. The internet is only a part of your life. It is not who you are. It does not represent your personality. It's just an extension of your personality. Why do we need to remember this today? Because now we are entering an age where again a giant leap in technology is going to happen. I'm sure you guys are really smart. You know everything that's going on. You know terms like smart AI. You know what is neural networking. These things are going to again change the landscape of how we communicate, how we interact. So now that we're in the age of really smart AI, my next question to you is, how smart is smart AI? In 2016, I wrote and acted in a show. I would say the first of its kind. It was based on artificial intelligence. But it's a full masala show, ऐसे कोई सीधे show नहीं है. उसमें I play an app developer. That app developer creates an AI in the form of a desktop assistant. The name of the desktop assistant, because it's a girl, there's an actor who's playing that character, is called A.I.SHA. A.I.SHA. So A.I.SHA is just the smartest AI in the world. She can do all calculations, she can cross-reference the internet. Like ChatGPT today, she can talk to you, she can make you feel emotions, she's there for you. But the problem in the show was, A.I.SHA only knew Samir. I was playing the character also, I wrote it and acted. So A.I.SHA only knew Samir, and then she started getting possessive. तो A.I.SHA के दस्ते में जो भी आया A.I.SHA और समीर के बीच में, she started eliminating them. In effect, the show tells you that A.I.SHA became evil. But technology is neither good or evil. The only difference is, back in the day, our ancestors were using much simpler tools. Our tools have just become complicated. But that doesn't mean that the tool itself is evil. Always remember, in a war, the sword or the gun doesn't kill anybody. We kill other people. Humans kill other people. Technology does not kill other people. So AI is going to be in our everyday life. You cannot ignore it. Everywhere you go, you will have systems that feel smarter than you. But let me reassure you, they can't feel emotions. They don't know the feeling of just sitting on the couch and doing nothing with your best friend. They don't know the feeling of looking at the rain and for no reason getting nostalgic. यार याद आ गई, पता नहीं किस चीज की याद आ गई, पर याद आ गई, बूंदे देख के, ये तो विंडो पे. They don't know the feeling of holding your mother and knowing you won't see her for a while. AI can't teach you that. So again, going back to the last point, internet was an angry teenager. Now we're talking about smart AI, but we are very far from AI, even remotely coming close to what this beautiful machine is. Right now, across the planet, there are a lot of neuroscientists, a lot of people talk about how the brain works. Nobody knows. There's so many clues, there's so many things we don't know about the brain. Maybe it'll take us a few more decades to first figure that out. Then it'll take us a few more decades to teach it to the AI. So till then we are safe. उसके बाद का पता नहीं. तब तक ठीक. So let's not give these things so much importance that they start governing our lives. That was the point. Why I'm talking about hate and love is because hate has a way of creating divide, whereas love has a way of uniting people. Do you agree or not?
Yes.
It's true, but is it just an abstract thought, or should we connect it to how it actually makes a difference to us? So, next thought is, hate divides, love unites. Very philosophical. Let's talk about how it applies to the web of life. Now, when you think of your choices and your actions, are they independent of your surroundings or your environment? अगर मैंने कुछ किया तो उसका इम्पैक्ट मेरे आसपास 5-10 लोगों को होगा, 15-20 लोगों को होगा. If I suppose create a technology that is sustainable, that is good for the environment, that is actually getting people jobs, will I not have a positive impact maybe on the next generation as well? Whereas if I act selfishly, create something only for profit, knowing that this will harm people, probably harm the environment, that will disconnect you from everybody else. So the web of life, from my interpretation, is very simple to understand, and the formula is very simple. If you want to feel connected, it takes a lot of effort. But if you want to disconnect, hate is easy, love is tough. Hate is very easy. It's very easy to hate. Look at Arnab. कितने पैसे कमा रहे हो? हम क्यों नहीं कमा रहे? Because it's easy. Love is very, very hard. It takes persistence. It takes patience. It takes compassion. It takes empathy. और नहीं होता यार हर रोज सुबह उठ के अच्छा इंसान बनने का मन नहीं करता ना, तो करना पड़ता है. Because if you keep doing what's easy, you spread hate, you create divide in the web of life. But the tough part is, now let's talk about the other end of the spectrum. While we had Arnab screaming and shouting at us, there was a man who was practicing love, compassion, empathy, stands for equality. His son was arrested and put in jail for a month. He was silent. Who's this man? Shah Rukh Khan, right? Does he not represent the thought of love? When he talks, don't you feel nice? Don't you think of some of the thoughts that he said? यार, जो अपने बेटे को बचाने के लिए उसने कुछ भाषण नहीं दिया, कुछ बोला नहीं, क्यों नहीं बोला? Because, right, when we said in the beginning, hate is loud and easy. Love is silent and hard. Love is very silent. Love does not need to be screamed, shouted. Love is something just that needs to be felt. And I'm not saying go and love everybody that you ever meet, it's impossible. But start with 5-10 people around you. Start with 15 people. If you can start creating small differences in people around your spectrum. आप लोग कॉलेज में हो, टीचर्स टू स्टूडेंट्स, स्टूडेंट्स टू टीचर्स. हम लोग इंडस्ट्री में, हम आपस में काम करें. If you can just do that much, don't you think your life will also be slightly better? When we meet anybody in life, what is your first question? पिताजी, क्या पूछते हैं नॉर्मल लोगों को? What's your name? तो आपने नाम बोला, तो मेरे दिमाग में आ गया, अच्छा, सिख या पंडित, मुस्लिम, क्रिश्चियन, नाम से बता दिया. Then second question, अब पूछ लेता हूँ मुश्किल सवाल. What do you do? तो सामने से बंदे ने बोला, I am the CEO of a fintech company. मैंने कहा, गुरुजी, ये बंदा काम में आने वाला है, इम्पोर्टेंट है, मेरे लिए भी इम्पोर्टेंट हो सकता है, आगे जाके कभी मौका मिला तो शायद ये मेरे काम आ जाएगा. अब मैं दूसरे बंदे को मिला, मैंने कहा, हेलो, हाउ आर यू, व्हाट्स योर नेम? उसने कुछ नाम बताया, मैंने कहा, व्हाट डू यू डू? उसने बोला, आई एम जस्ट, I'm just going with the flow, yaar. I just came back from Manali. I don't know where life takes me. I'm an artist. I create when I feel inspired. मैंने उसको देखा, मैं हिप्पी ड्रग्स करता है, ये बॉलीवुड से होगा जरूर. That's the perception. Instantly you start compartmentalizing people. Why? You don't know anything about them. It takes a lot of time to get to know anybody properly. But we have this focus instantly. ये CEO fintech company track यहाँ डाल दिया, जरूरी है. ये passion follow कर रहा है. इसमें याद रखो. How about we stop asking each other this question and we restructure this conversation? From now onwards, when you meet somebody, नाम पूछ लेना, नहीं तो awkward हो जाएगा. नाम पूछना. उसके बाद ask them, how are you? How are you feeling? It's not a tough question. Can we do that from now onwards? Ask somebody, how are you? Not who are you? How are you? Don't ask them, what do you do? Ask them, what do you care for? Ask them, what makes you happy? Ask them, did you have a nice meal before this? Ask them simple questions that they also feel good answering for themselves instead of just showing this tag of being somebody or doing a job. Does that make sense? It's not very difficult to practice. So the last point that I want to say is that love is very silent, but it's very tough. When we start looking at our simple actions, हमारे लिए अगर कोई काम कर रहा है, और लाइफ में मैं आपको बता दूं, आप में से यहाँ पे कोई भी ऐसा नहीं है जिससे अमीर कोई नहीं है इस दुनिया में, या जिससे गरीब कोई नहीं. करेक्ट? किसी के पास ज्यादा है, किसी के पास कम है. किसी के पास बहुत ज्यादा है, पर शायद उसके पास माँ बाप नहीं है. किसी के पास बिल्कुल कुछ नहीं है, पर शायद उसके पास एक बहुत अच्छा दोस्त है. Everybody has things that they're always looking at the other person like, इसकी जैसी लाइफ होगी, but नहीं होगी. ये जो है लाइफ यही. But what are your actions? Simple actions. Have empathy. Have compassion. अगर तुम्हें भूख लगती है तो सामने वाले को भूख लगती है, just talk to them, ask them, आपने खाना खाया? Simple things can start connecting you in more ways than one, and I am guaranteeing it. If you approach your life with compassion and love, it just magically comes. I've seen it in my career. I started 14 years back. I was an director's assistant on a show called MasterChef India. And there were 200 people on the crew, 20 cameras. And I used to be everybody's errand boy. मतलब ये सबसे जूनियर है, सारा काम कुछ भी बोल दो ये तो करेगा, इसके ऑप्शन ही नहीं है, like an intern. 14 years later, the head of that show was now leading a channel called Z's West. One of the guys who was my assistant was now an executive producer in the channel. Another person who was working in production was now heading the production here. And all four of us reconnected on a show. And they said, "Yaar, we're so happy for you. हमें इतनी खुशी हुई कि तू होस्ट है हमारे शो में, मतलब हमारा तो काम आसान हो गया यार, अब तो बचपन से दोस्त है। अगर मैं तब उनके साथ मिसबिहेव करता है, तब मैं उनको एटीट्यूड दिखाता, शायद मेरे को ये मौका नहीं मिलता। तो मेरी जिंदगी में तो बहुत बार देखा मैंने, if you practice empathy, compassion, it comes back to you. But if you practice hate, तो तुम्हें पता है अपना वाला भी हाल क्या है, पैसे होंगे पर शायद लाइफ नहीं अच्छी। Alright, and I'm going to close with one simple exercise जो हमने शुरू में की थी. Find that person again. Same person. Same person. Now look into their eyes. Softly, sweetly, just say, "I love you." Thank you. Have a good day.